What's good, folks? It's Silent Mode. Times are hard right now, so I'm just trying to stay sane by engaging in these projects on the side. This is actually a redesign of a toy that I did before I got my first 3D printer. I'm doing it on my so-called ancient Ender 3S1, which has been upgraded with Clipper, so it's printing a little bit more fast and printing it with some spare colored filament that I recently got, just so I can paint over it and I don't have to worry about particular colors. But this is just a torso and it printed in about 12 hours. That's how slow it is, I guess. But this is what I'm going to be making. This is actually a larger version of this, which debuted at Printed World Conference last fortnight. I call it the Programmable Operations Robot. I'm using another roll of filament to print yet another one of my ducks on the A1 Mini. And these are the parts I've printed so far. It's just the head to go. So earlier today I experienced a world record. 1 hour after applying for a job, I got the template rejection letter. Not a good experience, but here's a good one. I managed to print the head of the robots. It printed in a lot less time than I thought, and I'm really pleased with the results. I'm going to be assembling it tomorrow, I think. In other news, I've been experimenting with the multi-board. I met the creator at Printed World Conference for the second time. Someone recommended I test it out with LEGO, and this is a stand that I printed from Printables. It doesn't hold the minifigure well, although it seems to do fine when the minifigure is seated. I wanted to show you, though, a design that I built or designed with Never Too Old. This is a separate wall-mounted minifigure display. It takes LEGO plates. You can use these ones or a couple of jumper plates, and they do a really good job of holding the minifigure. I just thought, why reinvent the wheel? Why worry about tolerances when you can just use genuine parts?
What's good, folks? It's another boring day. Nothing much happened except to try to print some more small ducks, this time using leftover filament alternately. And unfortunately it failed because I took a gamble on some manually joined filament I did myself. It got stuck in the printer, resulting in failed prints, but I will be attempting to use these for something else in the near future. Now, I did say I was going to assemble the robots, but instead I decided to remove the support material just to make a little bit more space, and the parts seem to fit together really well. I'm planning on painting the robots. Let me know in the comments what color you think I should make the body of the robots. I really don't have any idea right now, although it is originally a green color. As I said, the parts seem to fit really well, and I can't wait to see this thing fully assembled and painted in whatever color it's going to be. So if you want to see it, stay tuned. What's good, folks? I'm dead tired today and I wish I had something exciting to show you, but this is a sneak preview of this secret project I've been working on right now. Hopefully not as secret as it used to be. This is the world's first anti-bullying campaign in the LEGO space, and I've decided I'm getting into the AI music business as well. It's basically a song contest where people will vote on their favorite version of a song that I wrote and had generated using AI. This is actually doubling as a portfolio piece. I've been learning how to build things in React. It's a fetish that a lot of companies have these days, but hopefully this will be enough to land me a job. And I'm proud of what I've done so far. The design isn't the greatest, but I'm not a designer. I've got a few drawings to do before I can show people, but watch this space. I hope it's going to be huge. Okay, yet another week ending on a not so good note. No progress on the job front and more rejection emails, but I started work on a project that I've been having in the works for quite some time. These are what I call construct figs, and they're inspired by figures that I found in a Mega Construct set. My own design intended to look like Lego but not be Lego. The intention was to customize them using these Posca markers which I've collected over the years. I've got a couple more large ducks that I've printed. This one is in a red color that I have plenty of. I also printed one in Protopasta's I think it's called Partly Cloudy Lemonades HTPLA, which I got a while ago when I got some custom filament from them. They turned out really well. I was thinking of doing some very short videos customizing each of these figures. I've got plenty of them to do, just to pass the time and stay optimistic. So I wanted to take my time-lapse into the next level, so I printed this mount for the A1 Mini, followed the instructions, which seems simple enough, and I just happened to have these switches from another project, and it fits rather tightly inside of the mount. Got to this step and wondered, what the heck is this wire? There was no mention of any wiring, but in any case it had to fit my 600D Canon camera, faithful DSLR, and my solution in the end was to take this rather cheap remote from Amazon, take it apart and get to the wiring, which I already knew worked. Rather simple actually, but a little bit of experimenting showed, because it had 3 wires that touching either the red or the white ones triggered the shutter. And after a little bit more experimenting, I realized the red and yellow one had to be connected to one pin, the white to the other. And it worked the first time. We now have a trigger for recording time lapses. Alright, here's an update that will make some people in the LEGO space really happy. I have to move everything out of this studio in a month's time, and I have absolutely no means to do so. I don't have anything in the bank, and I don't have anywhere to move this stuff to, but look at all the stuff that's in my studio. It is a clear sign though that I have too much going on, that I'm trying to make too much stuff work, and it would actually do me some good to get rid of some of this stuff. Things that just haven't worked, things that won't sell, etc. I'm fortunate to have had a studio anyway, but I'm hoping that if I do get another studio, if it's at all possible, then I'll have somewhere a bit bigger, and that will make it easier to organize some of this stuff. But in the meantime, I'm stuck in this rather uncomfortable situation, no idea what to do, and I just hope that it all works out without having to lose too much. What am I going to do, eh? So a couple of days ago, I asked Alexandria to pick 2 colors. This was in somebody else's live stream, and you're about to find out why. Since I had plenty of time, I decided to print another dice roller. This time this is sized to fit 12mm dice. The one I did in the other live stream was a bit too big. It took about the same amount of time to print, and there was a bit of bleeding in the tray, as you can see there, but otherwise it turned out okay. This was actually a 4-color print, which is why. But don't think I stopped there. I saw this other comment and I thought, since I had the time, why not print another one? This time it's in blue and yellow, using a different yellow for the sleeves. I actually ran out of the yellow for the minifigure head and hand, so I had to compromise. It would have been great to pair these with red and black dice and blue and yellow dice respectively. I only had the red and the blue ones, but I think it turned out to be rather... Oh, look at that, double 6. So if only I was that lucky. What's good, folks? Today's accomplishment is setting up a brand new YouTube channel. It's called Mode Can Code, and it serves a couple of purposes. First of all, there are plenty of people in the industry, and we can say in the LEGO space and other spaces as well, who think that just because of my demographics, I don't have the basic level of intelligence required to do the job, that I don't deserve to be in the arena that I'm in. And hopefully this YouTube channel will prove them wrong, or demonstrate that they're wrong. It's basically a way for me to showcase my coding abilities with the hope of landing a new role. And it also serves as an online portfolio. I'm going to show you guys on that channel exactly what I get up to on my personal projects and talking about various coding things. You can follow the channel at Mode Can Code on YouTube. And let's see where this takes us. I'm no expert by any means, but I'm interested to see where this goes. Okay, so this is a black and gold dice roller. Shout out to Jays for the suggestion. I only did this because I was bored and I needed to use up some of my filaments. But I've paired it with these translucent yellow dies. I think it looks quite good. I'm going to have to get some black dies. I think that would work a little bit better. But I talked a while ago about opening a store. It's going to be a bespoke solution where I'm going to offer certain items for commission. These will probably be on the expensive side because of how long they take to produce, but it's there for anybody who really wants it. Let me know if you're interested and we can probably sort these things out. I can print just about any color and I should be able to get some various different colors of dies. Again, it's not for everybody. I'm expecting it not to be for everybody, but let me know if you're interested. yeah, there's not much more to add. I probably won't be making any more of these until I get some commercial interest. Although things have been really hard recently, it's important to remember to take time out to let your hair down and enjoy yourself from time to time. So I was very fortunate to spend pretty much all day out. Firstly, I was invited to a screening of Loose Women, which turned out to be not that bad actually. It was quite a small audience and it was actually kind of enjoyable. Then I spent a little bit of time in the coffee shop doing some coding, and then I met somebody else for dinner at Big Easy, and they just happened to have a Caribbean theme night with this guy doing limbo dances. I resisted because I'd probably end up in A&E, but it was great because, you know, as I said before, things are quite difficult right now with the job situation, with the whole content creation thing, and it's important to remember that there are people who are supportive. I want to take the time out to shout out Brick Therapy and everybody who has been supportive in my endeavours up to now. I really appreciate it. Folks, I'd like to be able to show you something really cool today, but it has honestly been one of the worst days I've experienced this year. I've been feeling really ill. I've had bills that I can't pay to deal with and people threatening me. And on top of this whole idea of people just turning their backs on me and not giving any help whatsoever, it's a little bit much to bear right now, but I have to remember that things get a lot worse before they get better. So I'm trying to be as optimistic as I can about things. I just, I was convinced that there was light at the end of the tunnel for this week, but it doesn't seem to be the case. However, I have promised myself that I'm going to stay in the game. I am not going to hit the big reset button, if you know what I mean. And I just hope that next week, if not tomorrow, is going to be a lot better. There is still so much that I can do, and there's still so much that I want to do. Thanks once again for your support. What's good, folks? I'm still not feeling very well at the moment, but things are a little bit better than yesterday. And I wanted to show you guys something this time around. This is raw footage of a creation that I did a couple of months ago. It's a replica of the hotel room I stayed in when I was in Amsterdam. And following on from this, the week after next is unofficial Mode Week, which is celebrating my birthday week. And one of the things I wanted to do for Mode Week is answer some questions. So if you have any particular questions you wanted to ask me that you wanted me to answer, please feel free to shoot them in the comments, send me a message through Brick Therapy, whichever, and if I get some really good ones, I'll address them in individual videos. I just think it would be really fun to do. It would be my first ever AMA, but the focus right now is sticking to my New Year's resolution that I must post and being productive. You know, one of the most egregious things about bullying is that it's intended to distract you from what you're meant to be doing in this life, and as a result of the things I've had to deal with the Lego space, I've essentially forgotten how to draw. I've spent so much time coding and doing some other stuff, mainly promoting myself, that I've forgotten how to draw. I've tried using my display tablet, which I got specifically for this purpose, and I just haven't managed to get it right. So here you're seeing a few pencil sketches I've done and my efforts in Illustrator. I've got a whole bunch of these graphics to create for my project. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's imperative that I do it before I launch the project. I've spent quite a few hours getting to this stage with just 2 of these graphics. I've got a whole bunch more to do, and the one thing I would advise anybody is just to do it how you can do it. Worry about the quality and the professionalism later. What's good, folks? I'm not as ill anymore, and I've actually been on a tear today. I've managed to get 5 of these pictures done, so I'm making fairly good progress. Just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's left comments. People seem to like my drawing even though I'm out of practice. I swear to goodness I'm not milking for compliments or anything like that. I'm really out of practice, but thank you all the same. It really has helped with everything that's going on right now. I've just listened to Mayor Hosko's video about Brickworld Chicago. It sounds like an event I would have liked to have gone to, but then there's the drama. Hopefully people are waking up to the idea of there being drama in these hobby spaces, not that it's something that I want to harp on about. And it's actually something I'm going to address during Mode Week next week in one of my videos. So if you want to see my thoughts, or hear my thoughts rather, about what happened when I went to Amsterdam last month, stay tuned. So as I mentioned, next week is going to be Mode Week, which is my unofficial birthday week. And my plan is to put out one video per day during the week in which I showcase something, whether it's talking about various things that have gone on or showing you guys something new. I haven't yet come up with most of the content. I'm pushing myself, so we'll see what happens. In the meantime, though, I've been trying to design a cute little logo, one of those social media logos that people like to have. And I've tried using AI to do it. I'm no good with the prompts, and part of me says I should actually use my hands and design something on paper and try to recreate it using my usual techniques on a computer. I've left myself very little time to do it, so I don't know if I'm going to get it done in time. It doesn't really matter anyway. What matters most is that I mark the occasion, and hopefully you guys will join me on my YouTube channel. Stay tuned to find out what I have in store. Okay folks, I don't have much in the way of content today, but I wanted to show you this clip which I've slowed down to fit this video. Unfortunately, I didn't capture all of it or as much as I wanted to, but this is an absolutely beautiful moment from last month's Printed World Conference in Amsterdam. Over on the piano is my man Arseni, and I cannot remember the guy's name who's playing the violin. It's actually a 3D printed violin, but that was a brilliant moment. I just wish I'd recorded more of it. Now, I bring this up because next week, as part of Mode Week, I plan on talking about my experience at Printed World Conference. Shout out to Jonas for the invitation, and I'm glad I was able to make it. I'll be talking about the great things, the not so great things, and my takeaways from the event. Kind of sounds like a retrospective, doesn't it? But I do want to respect Jonas and the effort he put into putting the event together. I just hope I'm going to be invited back and that I have the opportunity to go back. What's good, folks? While I'm still waiting for an employer to grow a spine and actually hire people and speak to people instead of hiding behind computers, this is something I've done on a computer. It's a side project and it's going to go on my website once it's done. It's my version of Wheel of Names, or whatever your favorite wheel spinning website is. It's a project I started a while ago, but I've picked it up because I need something for my portfolio. I also use these things for productivity. For example, deciding what tasks I'm going to do at a time. I guess I've taken to gamifying getting tasks done, and so something like this is ultimately really useful. Me being me, of course, I wanted my own version. I wanted to make it in my image. So this is what I have so far. I suck at making web interfaces, but I'll try to make it look as good as I can. And there's a few more features I've got to add before I put it out in the wild. Let me know what you think, and yes, it's sideways. What's good, folks? I didn't put out a video yesterday because I was in the zone just trying to get a lot of stuff done. Maybe I'm getting a lot slower or the motivation just isn't there, but I've done a lot of drawing on the computer over the last few days and it's almost come to a head in terms of the main drawings. I still got to do some drawings for the site, and I wanted to talk a little bit today about the use of AI. Now, I'm using it for my projects in a creative sense, and I witnessed a few videos earlier today of somebody using AI for entertainment purposes, and my belief is that AI should be used as a tool. It should be used to help people become more productive. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people, especially in the job market, who want to use AI to replace people, who want to use AI to do the thinking for them, and I think that's particularly evil. It's up to people, however, how they use it, and there's nothing I can do about it, but that is just my thoughts about it. So as you might have guessed, I'm actually recording this on the 23rd day because I just didn't have enough time on the 21st. And this update is basically to let people know that the major parts of doing the artwork for my online project has been done. And I have to say I'm not entirely happy with how these came out. I spent the best part of a week coming up with these drawings, but I just figured perfection is the enemy of progress, and this is what I have right now. Along the way, I will be improving on some of these designs. It's going to depend on how the project goes, but I am rather proud because I managed to get these done anyway. Fun fact, I was up all of Friday and Saturday morning doing these, and I ended up not getting any sleep whatsoever, which proved to be detrimental, and I'll let you know all about it when I do day 22's updates, which is coming right after this. So imagine you had to wake up really early, travel outside of London for a lug activity, travel back to London to meet some people for a night out at a restaurant, having to wait goodness knows how long for the tube and everything to get back home so you could go to sleep, all without having had any sleep the previous morning because you were so excited about finishing the drawings for a website project and also excited about receiving some of these parts. That's exactly what happened to me on the 22nd, but I can say that it has been somewhat worth it. I'm glad that there wasn't any real drama on the day, which was something I was really concerned about, and I have some of these parts now which will go toward future builds. I don't have any idea of what I'm going to build at the moment, but it's useful to have these parts so I don't have to go hunting for them when and if I need them. Those snot bricks were particularly expensive, and now I have hopefully enough of them. Okay, so today marks the official start of Mode Week 2025. I'm the only person celebrating, so it doesn't really matter, but it's something important to me because, well, I exist. Anyway, this is me scrambling to get the first video done for Mode Week. I actually managed to do it, although the publishing was a little bit late. And in the background, I just couldn't resist. I've still got a whole bunch of spare filament lying around, so I decided to print a large duck using a mix of them. Now the good news is that I have an opportunity to at least attempt to sell some of these ducks. There is a car boot sale for the studio, which is closing down. It's happening on Sunday, and I will post some more information about it. It would be great to see some people down there supporting myself as well as some of the other artists at the studio. I'm still dreading the whole moving out thing though. I got an unexpected Amazon delivery today, and it came from Camelboy68, who I actually spoke to over the weekend, and I remember him from my days on the Brickset forums, but he sent me a few items from my Amazon wish list, which I really wasn't expecting. He's picked out a few different sets of dice, all different sizes, different types. You'll see there I have some 10-sided dies, which I had on my wish list for some reason, although I'm not really a role player, I just like the shape of them. That's also a book that I had. It's part of a series of books for artists to do with motivation and in some cases making a living from being an artist. Those are some more I guess regular sized dies. These are transparent colored, but the aim is to do something with them because that's the point of having the Amazon wish list. And to end the video, I just wanted to say a big thank you to Camelboy68 for the really nice birthday gifts. I really appreciate it. For today's update, I'm taking on a project I've been meaning to do for quite some time, which is a helping hand base, a DIY one, because I bought a couple and they seem to fall apart every time. So this is the second test that I'm doing. I'm going to be using these weights, which I actually used in my Screamix project last year. Just thought I'd find another use for them. So they're going to ideally weigh these things down. We've got a hole in the top of the base there, and they are designed or intended to thread or fit these connectors. I think they are nozzles for lubricants for a CNC machine. And that's just one section, and it's going to look like this once it's done. And I just thought this was a good idea for a DIY project because if I'm going to get into electronics, then it's going to be handy to have something like this. Just something to pass the time. Hope you guys are doing okay otherwise. Folks, I did it. It only took a few attempts because of the threads, but I managed to make my helping hands. It actually kind of looks like a Hydra, and as you can see, Max tried to attack it and didn't quite succeed. It does a really good job of holding things in place, and the arms are stiff enough, so I'm going to be using this for electronics projects in the near future. As promised, I've used some of these weights to try and hold it down. It seems to be quite effective, and I'm really pleased with how this has turned out. In other news, I printed another dice roller, and this one was especially for these 20-sided dies that Cowboy68 gave me for my birthday. I decided to pair that particular purple one with this just because of the body color, and it works nicely. First time using 20-sided dies in a very long time. Really pleased with how this turned out. Alright folks, I was meant to talk about Printed World Conference, which is the main reason I went to Amsterdam in the first place, but I just didn't have the time to put the notes together and record my thoughts. So instead, I wanted to show you guys some footage of my first trip to Amsterdam. This is getting the ferry from Amsterdam Central over to the other side of the river, I guess it is. This is heading toward NDMS and the slightly gentrified area that they're building up with businesses and things. Just wanted to say that I really have a soft spot for Amsterdam, even though it's a bloody expensive city and the food isn't particularly great. But it's going to be quite some time before I'm able to go back there, and hopefully my fortune will change. And when I do get to go back, hopefully I'll be in a better financial situation. But yes, this is one of my very fond memories of Amsterdam, and I hope to be back soon. Folks, if everything goes according to plan, I'm going to be selling this and a bunch of other ducks at a car boot sale tomorrow. I gotta get up really early, but I wanted to show you guys the projects I've been working on feverishly for the past few months. It's almost ready to go. The only thing that's standing in the way really is some artwork, but this is what I've been working on today. It's a news feature. The intention is to use ChatGPT, or rather OpenAI, to help with generating news posts. It's going to talk about various things that are going on within the song contest. I'm actually really pleased with all this progress that I'm making. I'm just hoping that the project itself is going to be worth it. A lot of time and energy has gone into it, but you guys don't see that. The litmus test is going to be how much people get involved with the project. So I'm going to talk about this and another project I'm going to be working on in a live stream tomorrow. Feel free to join in. So today was the big day. It was time for me to attempt selling the ducks, and this was at a car boot sale held by my studio, which is closing down, unfortunately. That's how the table looked at the beginning, and this is how it looked right after sales ended. I did actually manage to sell a handful of items, which I'm extremely grateful for. Not enough to start swimming in money like Uncle Scrooge, but it was enough to make the trip worth it. So a few of the smaller ducks went, and I had sold a few of the older items I had as well. It was good talking to people, the few people that came over and had a brief conversation with. And this gives me hope for the future. I still want to continue selling ducks and other things at various places. I want to give a shout out to Jay in particular, who gave me a couple of ideas for progression of the ducks idea. I really appreciate it, and I'm going to get to work on that as soon as possible, and it will happen. Alright, we're at the end of the month and the end of my 30-day shorts challenge. I want to thank you guys for hanging with me. In any case, I wanted to end on a high note and show you guys some more footage of my LEGO Nintendo Game Boy, which I completed back in February. I'm still very proud of this model, one of my best ever in my opinion. And again, I'd implore you guys, if you have LEGO's ear, encourage them to send me a copy of their official set once it's released so I can compare the two. If it happens, I would really be appreciative. And in any case, I can't wait to see what they come up with, how similar it is to my build, or what techniques and new parts they introduce. Nothing else to say really, except thank you guys for joining me, and as always, I encourage you all to do your thing.